All right, so today we're diving deep into something that's, well, it's kind of the lifeblood of e-commerce, right? Customer retention.
It really is. It's
All right.
like, you can spend all this time and effort getting those new customers in the door, but then what?
Yeah, exactly. What happens after that initial purchase? It's almost like some online stores, they just forget about you.
Like they've already checked you off the list or
Yeah, exactly. It's like mission accomplished, on to the next one.
yeah.
But doesn't that seem a bit, I don't know, short-sighted?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, one of the things we're looking at today actually says, let me see, it says, many online stores struggle with front-heavy advertising.
Front-heavy advertising, okay.
Yeah, so they're pouring resources into attracting new customers, which makes sense to an extent, but then they're totally lacking, get this, post-purchase automation.
See, and that's what gets me because without that follow-up, without some sort of system in place, well, customers, they often just buy once and then poof, they're gone.
Right, like they just vanish into thin air. It's like, imagine you're pouring water into a bucket, but there's a hole in the bottom.
Oh, I like that analogy.
Yeah, you're constantly trying to fill it up, spending all this energy and money, but you're not actually retaining anything.
And that's what I mean by short-sighted. Right.
Yes, definitely. And it can lead to what's often called the acquisition trap.
The acquisition trap.
Yeah, you get so focused on constantly bringing in new customers that you neglect the ones you already have. It becomes this vicious cycle. Spend, spend, spend on acquiring new customers, but not really building any lasting relationships.
So basically you're saying businesses are spending a fortune just to get those first-time buyers,
Yeah.
but they're not capitalizing on, well, the potential of turning them into repeat customers.
Exactly. Think about it. A customer who's already bought from you, they're much more likely to buy again. I mean, they already trust you enough to give you their payment information.
Yeah, that's true.
They're familiar with your brand, they like your products, or at least they liked something enough to buy it the first time.
So why aren't businesses doing more to, I don't know, nurture those relationships?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And honestly, it's a bit baffling because the opportunities are huge. You have upselling, cross-selling, the potential for building real customer loyalty. I mean, think about it.
Yeah, I'm starting to see the missed opportunities here.
Right. Instead of just hoping that customer comes back on their own, you can actually guide them, show them new products or products that complement what they've already bought.
So basically what you're saying is instead of just making that one-time sale, businesses should be thinking about, what, building a relationship that lasts.
Exactly. It's about playing the long game, right? And one of the sources actually puts it really well. They say, without proper automation, a steady revenue stream remains out of reach.
Without proper automation. Okay.
Yeah, and I think that's key here.
So, I mean, what exactly does automation look like in, I guess, in this world, in e-commerce?
Well, first of all, it's not about sending out those generic spammy emails that everyone hates.
No, nobody likes those.
Right. It's about using technology to make those touch points, those interactions with your customers, more personalized and more timely.
Okay, so how do you actually do that?
Well, there are tons of tools and strategies, but even something as simple as a personalized thank you note after someone makes a purchase.
That's a nice touch.
Yeah, maybe you include some product recommendations based on what they just bought. Something like, hey, you bought this, maybe you'd also like this.
And that feels more personal than just, a blast email to everyone on the list.
Right. Or how about offering a discount for their next purchase?
Oh, discounts. Always a good incentive.
Exactly. It gives them a reason to come back, and it shows them that you appreciate their business.
And I'm guessing all of this is way more effective than, like we said, just constantly trying to attract new customers who may or may not actually convert.
Oh, 100%. And the beauty of automation is that it can work for you even when you're not working.
Ah, so it's like having a sales team working around the clock.
Exactly. You set up these automated email sequences, personalized recommendations, maybe even a loyalty program, and it all just ticks along in the background, engaging your customers without you having to manually manage every interaction.
That frees you up to, focus on other parts of your business?
Exactly. And honestly, I think this whole conversation really highlights a need for a shift in mindset. We need to move away from this transactional way of thinking about customers and toward a more relationship-focused approach.
So instead of just thinking about that one sale, you're thinking about building a lasting connection with that customer.
Exactly. And this ties into a really important concept called customer lifetime value, or CLTV for short.
CLTV, okay, I've heard that term before, but I'm not sure I totally understand it.
Well, imagine you have two customers, right? One buys something once and then disappears. The other one becomes a loyal customer. They come back again and again. They buy multiple things over time. Which customer do you think is more valuable to the business in the long run?
Well, obviously the one who keeps coming back.
Exactly. That's the whole idea behind CLTV. It's about recognizing the long-term value of building relationships with your customers.
So as we wrap up here, what's the big takeaway? What do we really want our listeners to remember from this deep dive?
Don't underestimate the power of customer retention. It's just as important, if not more so, than constantly hunting for new customers. And even implementing some basic automation strategies can make a huge difference. It can unlock all sorts of opportunities for repeat business, increased revenue, and a more stable e-commerce business overall.
This has been really eye-opening, I have to say. And for anyone listening, as you go about your day-to-day, think about this. Think about what's one small thing you could do. Maybe it's sending a thank you email. Maybe it's offering a small discount code.
Do something simple, right?
Yeah, exactly. What's that one small step that could make a big difference in building a more lasting relationship with your own customers? It might just surprise you how far those little gestures can go.